Crows. They are among the most intelligent animals. These birds always surprise people with their intelligence. They are very popular on social media. Sometimes you'll see them carrying a piece of garbage, sometimes cracking a nut, and sometimes even imitating human words. Scientists' research on these birds shows how ingenious crows are at problem solving. How can they be so resourceful? Let's take a closer look at the nature of crows. Crows are omnivores. These birds eat almost everything. They feed on fruit, insects, eggs of other birds, various grains, invertebrates, amphibians, other songbirds, animal carcasses, and the meat of small mammals. They can prey on weak animals. Species that live among humans or have become accustomed to humans will even eat human food. They are also adept at stealing food from other animals. They store their food for later consumption. Sometimes they hide pieces of meat in the treetops like a leopard. Other times they bury food such as seeds. When people think of a crow, they usually think of a black, cawing, and annoying bird. This is usually a raven, also known as a crow. Crow, like the word monkey, is a word that refers to all crow species. Crows belong to the family Corvidae and the genus Corvus. Corvus is the scientific name for crows in general. Different species such as ravens and magpies are also found in this family. There are about 120 species of Corvus. First of all, it is important to know that they all have their own characteristics. Crows have habitats around the world. They are found everywhere except the poles and the extreme parts of South America. Crows are not only black in color. Magpies have white and dark blue colors. And crows are chestnut and blue in color. Crows are usually between 21 and 65 centimeters in size. Wow. The raven is the largest species among the crows.
A common question that I get is, how do you tell an American crow from a common raven? They can be challenging to tell apart. The first one, if you get a relatively good look at them, is by the pattern of the tail. Second is the size of the two species. So American crow is about a third smaller than the common raven. Common raven's much larger, and they've got a much thicker bill than the American crow. Finally, and perhaps most easily, is their vocalizations. So the American crow kind of gives the standard caw, caw, caw. The common raven, though, makes a lot of really odd calls, almost, croaks and screams, just a lot of different vocalizations. Things like or
The raven also has subspecies. Among the ravens, Corvus corax, the common raven, reaches a size of about 60 centimeters. Their beaks are large and thick. Their feet and beaks are very strong. Most of them have beak roots covered with filaments. Crows and ravens are the most intelligent species of this family. The brains of crows and ravens are larger than those of other birds in relation to body size. Since ancient times, various legends about crows have emerged among people. One of them is about the lifespan of crows. According to some people, crows can live for 200 years, and according to others, they can live for 400 years. However, this is not true. In general, the lifespan of crows in nature is 15 to 20 years at most. American crows, for example, live only 4 to 8 years in the wild. Some crows can live up to 30 years if they are raised with very special care. The longest known recorded lifespan of crows is 40 years. Crows test each other when choosing a mate. They are usually monogamous, but they are sometimes flexible during the mating season. It is thought that 20% of chicks are produced by non-partners. In this type of relationship, there can be joint reproduction. This is called cooperative breeding. One of the important factors that makes crows so intelligent is their way of life. Crows that live in groups have a better chance of survival. They protect and defend their young together within the same group. They teach them to fly and find food. They often live in a large colony. It takes the death or bad injury of a mate for crows to choose a completely different mate. Crows like to show off their skills such as courtship, flirting, and singing. They want to prove themselves to each other before choosing a mate. Nesting, family size, and growth are different for each species. They often choose areas similar to where they grew up to build a nest. Usually, their nests are in the leaves of the treetops. They prefer to hide the nest. You don't usually see baby crows. Their parents are very protective. The breeding season usually starts in March and ends in August. Male and female crows build the nest together in March. Male crows do not have a penis. Like other birds, mating is done by rubbing the cloaca. They can mate twice a year. The female crow lays a maximum of 6 eggs. The chick hatches in about 18 days. Physical structure and intelligence development are completed within a year. Young crows are ready to breed between 2 and 4 years of age. Most species breed at the age of 4. Sexually mature young crows leave the family. They seek to establish their own flock. The flight time of the chicks varies between 6 and 10 weeks. Most chicks die before they are 1 year old. This can happen for many reasons, including being eaten by other birds of prey, falling out of the nest, malnutrition, disease, and habitat degradation. It is common for young crows to fall to the ground while trying to fly. Crows do not hesitate to attack people who try to touch their young. These attacks are usually short and uneventful. However, if a child is attacked, they may be harmed. If you see this happening, please do not intervene immediately, because this is a common thing. Usually, the parents will be watching it from nearby. This is a learning process for the chick. But if there is an obvious injury, if it is in a very dangerous place, then it can be intervened. There must be authorities in your country that deal with this. You can call them. If not, you can take it to a veterinarian who deals with birds. After it is recovered, it is important to release it either near the nest or where you found it. Crows are highly social animals. They form close relationships with relatives and other birds in the flock. Let's open a parenthesis here. The human words we use when describing and studying animals, such as family and relatives, may not fully reflect them. Each creature is shaped by its own characteristics, needs, and living conditions. Some intelligent animals, like crows, have complex relationships. However, referring to human relationships is not enough to understand them. It can even mislead us. Let's get back to the subject. Crow chicks play various simple games, such as standing upright and sliding. Crows also make sounds other than cawing. Each sound carries a different message. Crows can easily adapt to different environments.
Are you alright?
What's the matter? What's the matter?
Treasure. Say, are you alright?
What's the matter? What's the matter? What's the matter?
I'm looking for treasure, I've told you. Right?
Many species are quite aggressive. They attack cats, dogs, birds of prey, and humans who approach or touch their young. Crows use tools, play games, hold grudges, mourn, hide objects, solve problems, imitate sounds, mimic movements, improvise, and exchange information. They think about death, fear death, and do not forget dead birds. All these behaviors are no longer unique to mammals. All animals with a brain can think and make decisions. But not every animal can transcend fixed patterns of movement. Some very intelligent animals, such as crows, dolphins, octopuses, and primates, can improvise. Crows can improvise and learn new things all the time. But not all crow species are so intelligent. The proportion of these abilities varies across species. Magpies are known to recognize themselves in a mirror. Their cognitive abilities are very developed. Crows have large brains in proportion to their body size. In mammals, human and dolphin brains are large. Crows know the meaning of traffic lights, can pick up garbage, open the lids of simple food containers, learn to drink from bottles and reach food from narrow places with long straws. All of these have been identified with human behavior. But the examples seen in the video prove it to be true. Crows know the meaning of traffic lights, can pick up garbage, open the lids of simple food containers, learn to drink from bottles and reach food from narrow places with long straws. All of these have been identified with human behavior. But the examples seen in the video prove it to be true. Scientists have long recognized crow intelligence. Using tools to reach food is one of the most important signs of intelligence. These birds even know the buoyancy of water. In recent years, experiments have shown that crows can solve successive problems. Researchers compare the intelligence of crows with that of children and primates. Some researchers say that crows are at least as smart as a 7-year-old child. What's more, the researchers say that with some training, crows can become smarter. Crows don't have a bad memory. They can remember human faces and understand different emotional expressions. They never forget where another crow died. They even tell each other about dangerous migration routes and try to avoid them. If one crow sees you as dangerous and holds a grudge against you, the whole group will behave in the same way. Crows probably have more cognitive abilities than we realize. Think carefully before you call someone a bird brain again. As you can see, birds are neither brainless nor insignificant. Most species have adapted to living with humans in cities. Despite this, crows do not form close relationships with humans like cats and dogs. Still, there are crows that can form close bonds with humans. Some people even keep lonely crows at home. They do not find it difficult to adapt to humans. The relationship between crows and humans goes back to ancient times.
Here. Mischief, can you say hello?
Hello.
Good bird.
Say hi.
Hi.
Good job.
Hi. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Hi.
People recognized crows' abilities early on. But these abilities were often misunderstood. Because they are not only intelligent, they are very curious, fast, make frightening noises, and attack. These birds are so curious that they can sometimes steal your personal belongings such as keychains. The most important thing is that they are black. Black animals have always frightened people. Like black cats, black crows or ravens have been seen as a bad sign in many cultures. They were associated with witchcraft, death, and evil deeds. This stems from negative interpretations of creation myths and religious books. This is also reflected in popular culture. The crow is especially used in fantasy, horror, dystopian, and medieval movies and TV series. Crows are still sacred in some religions. They are also found in ancient Greek mythology. The crow is the sacred bird of the god Apollo. Apollo curses it for bringing false news and turns it from white to black. Crows have found a place in every culture, from the Epic of Gilgamesh to Norse mythologies. Interestingly, all mythologies, whether influenced by each other or not, have black crows. In most of them, they are messengers. As you can see, crows are intelligent, resourceful, and have a natural life cycle. Isn't it time to stop humiliating animals and give them their due?